Remaining true to self in a world that constantly tries to define you. One thing that fascinates me about people, especially people I meet in real life, is the I in their identity, the self they portray themselves to be, the version of themselves they decide to show. I'm naturally a curious being. I love observing people, how they talk about themselves, how they tell their stories, and I love seeing the ego in it all, the makeup of their reality, the why behind their personality. And there's always this personalized story that's a huge driving force behind their daily actions. Every single person has this. This is why meeting people for me is super fun, because in that moment I am being exposed to a whole different entity, a mind shaped by circumstances, opinions, and POVs I could never imagine. I'm such an inquisitive soul. People tend to feel a sense of calm when in my presence. I know this because 9 times out of 10, I hear them say, this is minutes into the conversation, by the way. I don't know why I'm telling you this, or I don't tell people this. I haven't told anyone this yet. I feel comfortable telling you this. I just have that beautiful effect on people. I think it's because I am a great listener. I remember dating this guy while we were in a relationship, if you can say that. I say that because looking back now, I would not consider the experience I had with him a relationship. Anywho, in the process of the breakup conversation, he said, I barely even know you. I brushed what he said off because the person I used to be then hated entertaining nonsense. Not that I entertain nonsense now, but back then I brushed a lot of things off. Right now, I'm more open into expressing myself. I'm more open into saying, wait, what do you mean by that? Let's talk about it. Unpack that. And now that I think about it, it's like, what sort of statement is that? You were my boyfriend. Now you're acting like I was keeping information about myself from you. I am the type of person who will not say shit about myself unless I am asked. I don't drop facts about myself to anyone unless they are curious enough to ask me, curious enough to get to know me. I'm not sure if this is a good trait to have. I do that because I have this sense of curiosity when I meet people. I have questions, lots of them, and the conversations flow beautifully because I know that people love talking about themselves. They volunteer everything about themselves: stories, opinions, achievements, their family status, and what they do for a living. Like they are painting an image of themselves right in front of you. Sometimes there's not much to ask because people throw around facts and stories about themselves. They are carefree with it. And I'm always like, how, Sway? Why are you such an open book? Why are you this open? And how are you this open? My entire being has not been dependent on anyone's expectations of me. I lived and still am living life through trial and error. I love the idea of expressing myself in the most authentic way, but authenticity has blurred lines. I won't lie, sometimes the need to perform gets in the way. I'm gentle, I'm a kind soul, filled with love and empathy for the world and its people, but more often than not, the world amplifies right back at me that I need to grow thicker skin, be meaner, more arrogant, cunty, and a bad bitch. But that's not in my nature. I love leading with love, saying please and thank you. I've got this childlike nature to me. My healing journey has been ongoing for a couple of years now, and because I've experienced immense pain in this life, paired with learning from my life experiences and all the psychology, neuroscience, and self help books, all of this played a huge impact in the bending of my perspective. They helped shape my perspective. And they have all played a huge role in the way I show up in the world today. I show up with so much understanding and self awareness that often feels like a curse. But sometimes, most times, I can't help but feel as though the world doesn't have an appreciation for people like me. People can be sweet, utterly kind, loving, and full of joy. In the same light, people can destroy you without a care in the world. But besides all the hostility, I choose softness, even if the world keeps telling me I need to be harder, colder, more selfish. I choose to be me. But the me in context is a developing story. The me in question is a compilation of past events, some good, some bad. But this me still feels like an abyss waiting to be explored. I don't know her that much. She changes every day, finds new interests, hobbies, and topics that bend the way she thinks. I think it's for the better. I am very cautious about what this identity, this self is. So I take into account my values. I am always open to holding two truths at once. My beliefs shape my reality, so I need to be aware of what I accept as truth about myself. You know how people place their entire identity on being a wife or a doctor or a mother? I hate placing my identity on anything external because it's man made. I think distance should exist between people and the relations they have with others, between people and their positions, because all of these things do not matter when you die. My journal entries as of late have been focused on me determining what my values are. This has been such an eye opening task, and I love it because I'm getting to know this self as if it's a separate entity from me. I'm getting to know myself with the same level of curiosity I have for people when I meet them. Like I am getting to know a potential partner or friend, like the observer getting to know the observed. I am not sure if I belong in the psych ward for thinking this way and behaving in this manner, but also I'm not creative. So, we complicate shit sometimes. When people reference authenticity and give tips on how to be authentic, their main piece of advice usually circles around the idea that all you need to do is simply be you. There's this general idea that people aren't their own persons, that they adopt acceptable personalities just to be better liked by others. We hear it all the time that people are fake or that there's some kind of identity crisis, that society is lost. I think society has just been in a weird place ever since we went through the pseudo virus COVID. And because of that intense shift, people have lost important social skills. These days, it feels like the only way most people think they can thrive in social spaces is by kissing ass, by being overly familiar, overly relatable. Authenticity isn't really accepted anymore if you think about it. People tend to dislike authentic individuals because they're not trying to climb that social ladder of acceptance. I don't know. I've never been one to force myself into spaces or friendships. I love when people, places, and things choose me organically. My life has been kind of dry ever since COVID. I have an almost non existent circle of people in my life. Everyone I do have in my life, though currently I love to the T, and they reciprocate that love. Not all of them, some of them do. Although I have people in my life, most of the time I spend my days in solitude. And honestly, I need this. I need this time alone in this chapter of my life. There's internal work being done, and I'm all for it. And I am dedicated to the cause. I can't sit here and say that the world with all its glitz and glam doesn't get to me, because it does, especially when you're existing on the other side of the spectrum where hard work has to be intentionally poured into every single day just to make sure that you have a roof over your head and food on your plate. Then they are the gender wars and all the unsolicited advice about how to be a woman, how to improve yourself, how to present yourself. And it's hard not to notice how some people seem to be rewarded simply for representing themselves a certain way. This world and the systems that run it can pull people into dire states of being. It's chaotic out there, and the only place I feel safe is within my own body. My heart center and mental state are my safe spaces. Honestly, to me, being true to myself doesn't mean being rooted in one fixed version of who I am. It means honoring that who I am is constantly shifting, constantly evolving. That's how I believe people should live their lives: exploring, seeing new places, meeting new people, traveling, learning a new language, doing things that push you out of your comfort zone. That to me is what it means to be alive, along other things. So much is going on out there, and I don't want to find myself drowning in society's stream of garbage. I've always tried to rise above my environment, above my circumstances, and I pray that I remain resilient and soft for all the days of my life. Remaining true to myself means knowing who I am. It means dating myself. It means being around people because people are mirrors. I love human beings so much. Human beings are mirrors because they reflect our fears and desires right back at us. Being true to myself also means being honest about the things I don't like, expressing my opinions, putting myself out there. I've lived in a box for so long. I've been isolating myself for so long. Hence this YouTube channel. I'm really putting myself out there. I am literally out of my comfort zone, especially because I do struggle with social anxiety. Like, filming is not always an easy task for me. That's why when I hit those numbers last year, I was like, I don't want to be perceived. I don't want to be perceived. Let me go hide underneath. And then I went on this hiatus, and I needed to determine whether or not I wanted to do this. And I also needed to be okay with the idea of being seen, you know? But I digress. Being true to myself is learning about who I am and tapping deeper into my interests. It's about going inward, building an identity that isn't dependent on the external world, because it's a disservice for me to rely on external things. Because when I do rely on external factors, especially given how my life has been divinely structured, I end up feeling less than. Society places so much value on the external. That's why so many women are going to extremes just to live soft. But I want to trust that my skills, my mind, and my loving heart can get me to where I need to be, not my assets, not my social status. And honestly, a love like this, a life like this is possible. Defying the system is possible. This is a short one, a really short one, and it's different from what I normally write, but I needed to reflect on what it truly means to be my authentic self. And I've been doing that for the past couple of weeks, hence it's the task of determining what my values are through journal prompts. And honestly, it's been such a great experience for me. And I've been reflecting more, turning inward more. And I want to do that a lot because if you are a Christian, right, it's even written like Christ says, go within. The kingdom of God lives within you. And I really truly want to find that space for myself, determine what that means for myself. I want to explore. I do not want to perish because of the lack of knowledge. I want to explore who I am. I want to explore the world around me and reflect while doing so. Thank you for watching this video, especially if you made it all the way to this part of the video. And if you did, just know that I love you and I'm sending lots of love, blessings, and good things your way. Ha ha, joking. Not that voodoo shit, but just like okay. Yeah, I'm just sending you some good vibes, man. Some good vibes. And thank you so much because that's true support. You don't even know me like that. You don't even know me like that. I don't even know you like that. But yeah, me here assuming that people actually make it to this part of my video. The confidence is insane. But anywho, stay blessed, stay awesome. I hope you have a lovely human experience after watching this video. And yeah, may the work of your hands pass through your day with ultimate ease and relaxation and power and oomph and energy. You are loved. A lot of people lately do not feel loved. Like a lot of people feel so isolated, and I know, I think it's the post-COVID effects, right? So I just want to let you know that you are loved. It might not be by physical people, but you are on earth. Yes, a lot of people say that we are on a floating rock. Um, orbiting aimlessly, but I don't think it's aimless. I think, yes, it's insane that we live in a rock. It's insane that we can speak. It's insane that we have a sun, we have skies. It's insane. Reality is insane. Like the world, Earth is an insane place. It's just such a huge, mind blowing phenomenon. And just limiting it to, yeah, we on a rock floating, fireball. Nah, it just strips off value from life. I think what devalues life isn't Earth. What devalues life is the systems that exist. And yeah, because we hate the systems, we end up hating life, we end up hating ourselves. But in truth, I don't think we hate life. We just have fucked up systems. So just want to let you know again that you're loved by something greater than human love. And I think you need to just channel that love within. If you don't feel love, you need to channel the love within and start loving on you, boo boo.